Hey friends, Jennifer here with Marrero Family Farm. I am back at it again. We are in the garden. Let me show you what's new that's going on the homestead. It's pretty exciting. So first, before I show you, I want to ask you guys a question. Do any of you guys have any goats and you feed them black oil sunflower seed, also known as Boss? If so, we all know the price of seeds, especially those black oil sunflower seeds, has gone up like $10 to $15 just in the last few months. So I want to let you know that I have been trying to see if they would regerminate, and believe it or not, to my surprise, they actually are regerminating. I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see it now because my husband just put a bunch of fertilizer down, but I just randomly threw, I don't know, probably about 50 seeds in here and just kind of chucked them all over the place. And I just did this 2 days ago, and look at this. I have germination just all over the place. You can't even see it all because he covered it. They are germinating so well. These are Baker Creek sunflower seeds and Burpee sunflower seeds, and sorry, this is a drainage that we have here. This is a French drain that goes underneath and then drains down in the little valley area down there. But anyways, this whole area from this front flower bed, this flower bed, and those two flower beds down there are all filled with sunflower seeds. I did put, or I should say sunflowers that are germinating. As you can see, there's a bunch of tall ones here. It's just going to be a variety of different ones. This here, I do not know the name of it. It could be a balsam. I don't know what they're called, but I put two on this side. I think it is a balsam. And yes, see, here we go. This is Balsam Camellia by Fairy Morse. And I had started these by seed, and I just transplanted them yesterday. So I have two on this side and two on the other side, just to add a little bit of a variation of flowers here. So this is going to be sunflowers all the way. There is a bunch of weeds in there as well, but I'm not going to start picking the weeds until the sunflowers are taller, because I don't want to pick the wrong thing. Now over on this side, let me get you through here. So on the back section, I planted some zinnias. There's some more zinnias down here. So I put the taller zinnias in the back, which is going to be like the Meteors and Eldorados. And I think I did illumination in the front section, which is these two here, these two, and I did two down there. So two in the back. It's going to look really pretty. And then I did a couple of tomato plants. So there's a tomato here, and these two are tiny, but there's a little itty bitty one right there and one right there. I cannot plant anything over in this section as far as food goes because of the termite control. So a little nervous of even planting these. These are some natural onions that grow in through here. It's just some wild onions. I think they're wild. Maybe the previous owner planted them. I'm not 100% sure on that. All I know is there are wild onions that grow here in Alabama, and they are everywhere. And our azaleas are opening up so nicely. Now I know that azaleas can be toxic to your animals. However, our animals don't touch them. So far so good, and we'll keep it that way. I think they can tell what is toxic and what is not. I had planted the lavender right here and rosemary right here. I'm going to try to put in a few more seeds and see what I can get to germinate. I'm also going to clean these pots out here. We had lilies in these last year, and I was really hoping that they were going to come back, but I knew that they had died off last year. So this pot and this pot right here, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put in here yet. Maybe some marigolds or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I have a lot of flowering seeds. And then you can see my irises are doing amazing, and so is the firecracker bush. And then we have some more irises back here as well. These are called spider dragons, I think, something like that, spider something. But anyways, it is a wild natural plant to Alabama, and our bergamot or bee balm, I'm not 100% sure. It could be either, well, it could be echinacea or bergamot. Both of them do grow here, or have grown here, but one has overtaken the other. But they both still do kind of pop up. But this one, it smells so good. I can't even tell you how amazing they smell. That's why I thought, because this is kind of more of a medicinal type plant, we have lemon balm over in that section, and then over by the tomatoes in that other section, there's more lemon balm. That's why I thought it would be a good idea to put some more medicinal herbs in this bed here. And I think I'm going to keep like my, I mean, I know rosemary is edible, but I want to keep more of my like mint, because as you guys know, this is mint bushes that we're keeping contained in here. I'm debating on if I want to put them in bigger pots, but so far they're doing well, so I'm not really going to worry about them. Then I'm getting ready to transplant my tomatoes that are doing really well. These have some sun damage to them from the last time that I tried to harden them off, but they're coming back, so I'm not too worried about them. These are all Amish paste. I have my 4th of July and my cherry tomatoes already in at the ground. Those are cherry tomatoes in the raised bed over there, along with some green beans, some bush beans, and I have all my peppers that are ready to get planted. And I'm just trying to decide where exactly I want to plant them. From the last research that I did, it said that you should not plant your tomatoes and your peppers together because of hornworms. It will attract more hornworms. And I'm thinking that's why I had such an issue with hornworms the last 2 years. And then I've been, I do my transplants in these. I poke some holes down on the bottom with a heat. I have like this little heat gun thing, and I just put some holes in the bottom and fill it with some potting soil and transplant them in there to keep the cost down on some things. And then you'll notice over in this area that I have some broccoli. I got a few little broccoli plants there that I need to put in the ground. And then in the back section is all flowers. Those are all just different types of flowers. I think I might have a watermelon started somewhere. Oh wow, this was not doing well at all. And it is doing much, much better. I believe it's a pepper. It looks like a pepper. Yeah, that must be it. I think it's a sweet pepper. Oh, and I have some cabbage over in this little section right here. There's some cabbage, and it's starting to get a little leggy, so I need to get that in the ground soon. But all in all, everything is doing really well. But there is one other thing that we had done actually today. We didn't do it. One of our neighbors was gracious enough to come over and help us out because we don't have a tractor or a tiller. So our neighbor next to us offered to help us out a bit, which is just a godsend because there's no way that tilling this area would have been easy. So let me show you what our next plan is. With the rise of corn and fertilizers and everything else, we decided that we are going to grow our own corn. It's not a huge area. We didn't even measure it out. We just kind of eyeballed it. But starting from that post right there, right here, we tilled it all the way down till right in front of that apple tree right there. So all of this here is just gonna be about, all right, so it's about 6.5, 7 feet actually, width, and then I can't even tell you the length. Hey Timmy. Hi Timmy. What you doing, buddy? Timmy, you being a good boy? Oh boy. So Timmy, then Chubbs is over there kind of blending in with the surroundings. The boys just got a fresh bunch of hay. And you know, that's another thing is our hay that we've been getting is just, this last bale was absolutely horrible. No fault to our hay supplier, just it's what he can get his hands on, and the new bales of hay should be coming out soon, so hopefully we'll get some good hay this next go round. But for right now they're stuck with this, and as you can see, their area back here is just completely dirt. They have been rooting it up and eating whatever. Something that I would like to do is maybe separate these two sections. Since they have such a big section here, maybe we will separate it in half and get the chickens out here and till this up a little bit and throw some seed over here. Just a little bit ago, we have decided that we're probably going to go ahead and build another chicken tractor, but on a much smaller scale than the one that we have over on our other side of the pasture, of the other side of our house. But we have a lot more chickens that we can put in a chicken tractor, and if we can get this grass in really good condition, that's all edible for our animals, that would just be super amazing to not have to really buy so much grass, especially during the spring and summer, because there's no reason why we should have to buy so much hay during this time of the year. But if we can supply them with their own fresh grass, that would be awesome. So we definitely have the ability to make the chicken tractors, and we have the ability to put chickens in it. The only cost that we would really have to do is buying the seed, and seed right now is kind of pricey. Last year, actually no, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I got a 50-pound bag of tall fescue for, I think it was like $45, and now it's like almost $70 for a 50-pound bag of seeds. So as you can tell, that is a huge rise in price, and not even to mention, you know, like rye seed or alfalfa. Forget alfalfa. Alfalfa is super expensive, which is why it's so expensive to actually buy alfalfa from your hay supplier, because alfalfa seed is just really expensive. And of course people can eat alfalfa too, because you can do like sprouts and make yourself some alfalfa sprouts and put that in your you know, your salads, and it tastes amazing, and they're so beneficial and so good for you when you eat them as a sprout. But it's also really good for goats, male goats here and there, but I haven't had any problems with giving them alfalfa or giving them just a small amount of grain. And of course they get this hay, but I would do a mixture of alfalfa, tall fescue, and rye, and probably throw some other stuff in there too, like clover and dandelion, and just give them a broad range of different grasses that they can eat. I wouldn't settle for just one, but a little bit of everything would be just amazing. So back to the corn crop here that we're gonna eventually have, there are some really big roots that come off of this tree right here that crossed over that we were not able to till, and we're probably not even gonna be able to break those out, and we don't have a stump grinder, so we'll just kind of work around it. But we're gonna probably put at least 5, 1, 2, 3. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to see. It could even be 6 rows of corn. And we'll do that all the way down here. And hopefully we'll get some corn for these guys. For the chickens especially. We are still doing the mealworms for the chickens. I don't know if you guys saw that video or not. But we started a little mealworm farm. And they're still in the mealworm process. They haven't turned into beetles yet, so we're waiting for the process before we continue. So another place, my neighbor came over here and he tilled up this area for us as well. So if we wanted to do an additional garden over here next to our straw bales, we can do that as well, instead of just putting it straight on this really hard dirt. Now he did say that this dirt was much softer than in the other area where it's mostly clay. He thinks that maybe there was like a flower bed or something like that over here once upon a time because it was so soft. But yeah, so watermelon, cantaloupe, and pumpkin. I think that's what I'm going to do since those bushes just get so big. And then I'm going to have to figure out how to keep the deer out. We don't have a lot of deer that come through here, but I think if we had a garden back here, they would. Something else I wanted to show. We had planted this last year, 2 years ago actually, and we actually got peaches the first time last year, but we only had 5 peaches. This year it is producing a whole bunch more, so that's really exciting. Year 2 of actually producing fruit, and it is doing really, really well. But I do see that, you can see that, but some of these look like they're getting eaten by something. So we might have to put some nets or something over top of it just so nothing attacks them. So really fun and exciting stuff for us, something that's new. As you guys know, we have this kiwi vine and it's doing amazing. It's growing kiwis as it should. But something that's really new is this fig tree. This fig tree has been here since we moved in, and it never produced figs, and we were wondering if maybe it was just too old, but come to find out, I think it was just too young. There are not many that I have noticed, but it is still young, I guess. And here, let me see if I can zoom in on this. Here we go. So it has a couple of figs. Here's a few more up here. So they're starting to grow, which is super exciting. I am really, really excited about this. I've never had a fig tree, and love figs. There's a pretty good sized one up there. There's a few of them more towards the top. So that's really it. I just wanted to share that with you and kind of show you how green everything is getting. Look at all these just beautiful, beautiful green tall trees. We have some amazing, amazing tall trees on our property. So it's really hard to get rid of them because they're so old and so beautiful. Another thing that I would like to show you is this vine that's here on this post that looked so dreary and so ugly for so long is coming back once again, and this is a wisteria vine, and as you can see, it has all of these really beautiful buds on them. They're just everywhere and they're so unique. But what's going to happen is as these grow, and of course I'm going to show you guys, these buds are going to get so big and they're going to fall and just kind of droop. And they have just the most amazing smell to them. And it looks so beautiful when they're all just sitting there. I wish the vine was kind of full a little bit more. hopefully it will get that way. But what happened was we had someone who was dropping off an animal or picking up an animal, one or the other, and they accidentally hit our post. So unfortunately there's some damage sometimes. That's really it, guys. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update of some of the cool things that's going on here at the farm. So we'll have to see how the corn does and if it takes off, and if we can grow enough to feed our animals at least for a short amount of time, or at least we can store it through the winter. We'll try to purchase as much as we can, dry out whatever we get, store it in some bins, and have it available for when winter gets here. So that's the plan anyways, and just wanted to take you guys along with me on that. And until next time, you guys be blessed. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.